You got a friend in me. You've got a friend in me. When the road looks rough ahead and you're miles and miles from your nice warm bed, you just remember what your old pal said. You got a friend in me.
Woohoo! Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Platinum Prime for Life, the show where we share with you our tips and tricks for seamlessly moving into a beautiful state of life we call a Platinum Prime life. So, guess what we're going to be talking about today? This show is about friendships. And friendships that are new and friendships that have traveled along with us during our life and are still as active and fresh and being worked on today as they have been always.
Blessings, blessings, blessings from friends.
Absolutely. So why this episode and this topic today? Because both Karen and I have friends that are celebrating birthdays, and they're longtime friends. And I had a birthday party. It was my birthday and my husband's birthday. So we combine those days into one birthday bash for the month.
It was fabulous, by the way. And you know why it was fabulous? Because of the quality and quantity. You have a quality and a quantity to your friends. My gosh, you know how to throw a party because it's the best of the best people. Meet and greet at your parties.
That I agree with you. It was beyond my expectations. And it was that I just looked around at a sea of faces, most of whom I'd known for years, and each of whom I loved very much because of the experiences that we've shared.
Yeah.
So I was just thinking about how wealthy both you and I are because in large part, by the friends that we've collected along the way, ones that we love, and those friends love us back. All right, so I have some stories, but I actually would like to just open up with a few quotes about friendship. I think it's fun, and there are some great sayings along the way that equate friendship with wealth. And I want my little aside to be added here, which is toward the latter part of life. In other words, your Platinum Prime years, reflecting on all the things that you've accumulated thus far in life must include your friends. And you need to tally that up along with the material possessions that you may or may not have decided to create. So, sharing some pretty fun quotes. And the first is, true wealth is not measured in money or possessions, but in the depth of your relationships and the quality of your friends. And it's that quote I've heard before, and I wanted more that were like it. And so I asked ChatGPT to kind of flesh that out a little bit more. So here are some that I really like these. So another one, the richest people I know have full calendars of laughter and empty closets of resentment, which is lovely.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Wealth and friendship. Money can build a mansion, but only friendship makes it feel like home. So true. Wealth shines brightest when it's shared around a dinner table with good friends and great stories. Always. Don't you think that's true when you have your friends over and it's, remember when? And did you know? Lots of stories that are fun.
Yeah.
A true friend will celebrate your wins and remind you to tip generously. Super cute. Okay, I'll share a little bit more later on, but let's share some stories of friendship, Karen. Shall we do that?
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm going to toss this one over to you.
Well, I have friends from when I was very, very young. I have a friend that goes back as far as me being 14 years old. And she actually got me into the show business because she was a singer right out of high school. She got a job in a nightclub in New Orleans playing as an opening act for Al Hurt. I don't Some of you don't remember Al Hurt, but he was a famous trumpet player, and he had a
Mm-hmm.
Dixieland club down in New Orleans. And she sent me a plane ticket, a train ticket. I'd never been on a train, never been out of Kansas City, and she sent me a ticket. And I went down to New Orleans and watched her, and it gave me the idea, well, wait a minute, if she can do that, she was a year older than me, 1 year older than me, and I said, if she can do that, maybe I could do that too.
Uh-huh.
But about maybe 3 4 years later, that I ended up taking a job that she had. She sang at a famous steakhouse in Kansas City called the Colony Steakhouse, and she had a job that she couldn't do that particular job, and she threw it to me, and I appeared with the Greg Mize Trio, and we sang, and that was my first ever real professional stand-up singing job. So that friendship has lasted, and thank goodness for Facebook, because I see her on Facebook, and we talk. Thank goodness for birthdays, by the way, because birthdays give you a wonderful excuse to call up, or any other holidays like Christmas and this and that. But we're still buddies. I mean, I'm 81, so she must be 82, and we're still having at it, still going at it. Um, Before we go too far, remind me, because I want to hear your stories as well. Remind me how to increase this particular kind of wealth. I want to talk about that too.
Okay, that's a great story. So is she still performing like you are?
Nope, nope. She has chosen to. We're both widows. She's been a widow about the same amount of time as me, 20 years a widow, and she enjoys a kind of more of a quiet life. Yeah, with her kitty, and I'm not sure how she spends her days. I need a catch up. It's time to catch up.
There
It's
you
time
go.
to
Well, she set you on a path that
yeah.
you continue to this day. So you do have a lot to be thankful for there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I also have a wonderful friendship story, and it is because of you. So Karen reached out to me and asked if I'd be interested in helping one of her dearest friends who happened to live in the Las Vegas area. And it was someone I had no idea who she was, but when Karen described her to me, and she just sounded like an exceptional woman who just was having some health issues and needed assistance in living day-to-day living type things. At the time, I was divorced and living on my own, and I could work from anywhere. So I said, sure. And it just so happened right about then, my daughter decided to move to the same area. So that was kind of magical and perfect as well. So I wound up with what I thought would be 6 months there, helping her along until she got better. And that turned into about a year. But during that year, she became a wonderful friend, someone I love as dearly as Karen loves her. She's exceptional. And talking about birthdays, she sent me something for my birthday that I thought was so cute. I'm going to share it because it became my new favorite cup. I don't know if you can see this. It says, "You seriously live too damn far from me." Cute. So cute.
It's so cute. I
And then
love
on
it.
the back of the cup is Florida and Nevada, and it says Linda and Maureen.
No way.
So cute. Anyway,
My, what a bespoke cup that is. Wow.
bespoke. I had to look that word up the first time I read it. So for anyone who might not be clear on what it means, why don't you share that?
Well, I had to look it up the first time I heard it about 5 6 years ago, and
Yeah.
bespoke means made custom for you. Like a bespoke suit is a suit that was tailored exactly to you and made for you. And that cup was not off the shelf at
That's
Walmart.
Exactly right. Bespoke,
Whoa.
it is. Wasn't that beautiful? Anyway.
Yeah, fabulous. Oh, and what a nice reminder, because that's a friendship that it just doesn't matter the length of time that you haven't spoken. That's the thing about wonderful friends. There's no recrimination if you haven't reached out for 3 years. Maybe you've been busy for 3 years, but when you do reach out, there's no recrimination, and it's as if time hadn't passed at all, and you just pick right back up. It's so beautiful.
I think one of the advantages of growing old in a platinum prime way is we still have a very high quality of life, which I anticipate will continue because we work hard at it. Both of us do. And I hear stories, many stories, as a matter of fact, of people who haven't come to that realization that, it's kind of nice to just not burn all your bridges and to decide what sort of relationship works for people in your life. Like maybe being too close is not a good fit. You might need to do a separation as far as how social you are with them or how much you want to reveal with them, because I've heard many stories of people who hit a point in life where they realize that life is a finite thing and that now they need to make up some damage, some things that still exist in their life that they don't want to be that way. Have you found that to be true, Karen?
Well, absolutely. And what's uncanny is that this morning I was listening to a podcast by a fellow named Eric Worre, Worre. He has a fabulous book, and he mentors people on, I happen to like network marketing very much because I've been successful. I've failed, but I've succeeded more than I failed. And I was listening to him, and that was exactly what he was talking about this morning was that you will find that your wealth in friendships or in money is the common denominator of the 10 people that are the closest to you in your life.
Mm.
And he said that when he first espoused that idea to his clients or people he was mentoring, they said, "What are you telling us? We have to get rid of our friends?" No, he said, but you have to evaluate how you spend your friendships as much as you evaluate how you spend your budget, because you have to reduce the amount of time you spend in toxic areas and amplify the time you spend in supportive areas. Is that people are they're either taking you down, or they don't give a dang, or they're supporting you, and you want to maximize the time you spend with the people that are supporting you and really minimize the toxicity. And I think it's okay. You don't have to get rid of friends, but you could, without ever even saying a word, you could minimize the time that you spend in toxic environments. I don't go out and stand in the middle of a lead painted house, with mold in it. I'm not going to do that. So why would I stand in the middle of a toxic relationship? And I feel pretty strongly about it. I don't tolerate them. I don't have any right now. I don't have any toxic relationships.
Mm. In our own way, I approach it just slightly differently, and it's a way that works well for me. I just find something to admire in the other person, and I just bring it up immediately. And I find that works well. So the relationship going forward, if that's done enough, either they are uncomfortable and don't want to talk to me because they don't think they're worthy of being admired, which
you're too damn positive for them.
I know. Or they just brighten up and they give me back something that's pleasant. And I do have a cute story that goes with this. Where I live on a very long street. It's actually exactly a mile in length. So when I'm out walking, if I walk to the end and back, I've walked 2 miles. It's pretty good. Yeah. So anyway, my husband has lived here much longer than me, and every day it's his habit at dinner time to take his dog for a walk. So now we're married, and so at dinner time, we take the dog for a walk. Everybody's used to that, and they're used to seeing us, and they think we're like the cute couple that hold hands and walk the dog. And as we're walking along, there are other people that also are out or about, and my husband would just make a comment. There are a couple of people, actually 3 people in the neighborhood who had little storm clouds over their head. And so one of them was this very sour-faced man that lived in a mansion. He lives in a mansion. We live in a nice neighborhood. And so my husband called him the unfriendly guy. He'd say, that's the unfriendly guy, and he insulted my dog, and he just was very sour, had sour comments.
Your dog? How dare a person do that? That's
no, really. Anyway, so one day we're out walking, and he had a little dog with them. And long story short was, I said, hey, look at that dog. Isn't that the cutest dog ever? And then the guy looks down at his dog, and we started talking about things, and I complimented something or another. I don't actually remember what, but pretty soon he became very cheerful, and he comes out to see us. And when he's walking his dog, he's really nice and friendly, and we get all the neighborhood gossip from him that is interesting. But that just switched. So that was one guy, and now my husband likes him too. It's so funny. The second one is this man that would just walk with earbuds. He always just walked with earbuds, and he was very unfriendly, and our dog didn't like him. And every time our dog would see him, he'd growl and kind of lunge, and then the guy would back off and cross the street. It was weird. So I would walk past his house, and his wife was always gardening and putting things out. And I saw she had organic gardening stuff come in, and the gardener helper was in, and she really created this garden. So I said, hey, is your wife into organic gardening, or is it you? And he said, well, it's my wife. And I said, let her know I really like her garden a lot. It's gorgeous. And every time I walk past it, I love it. Okay, now our dog doesn't growl at him anymore. He still doesn't like him. And the guy, he's come up to being more friendly, and he waves like this. Just a little wave. Well, that was okay. And then the final story in our neighborhood is there's a home that it's really unkempt, but it's got all these big trees and foliage around a wrought iron fence. So you can't see the house, but when you can sort of see through the house, it's just messy, like they haven't touched their garden in a long time. These are acre plus properties, so I think he probably lives on 2 acres. And after storms, I saw that he was putting up new trees. He put some new trees in because they'd been knocked down in the storm. Anyway, I started talking to him. And he said, yeah, I'm putting up my barrier against the world. I'm putting it back in place. I said, really? Oh, that's interesting. So that went from someone who really was antisocial in the true definition of the word to he also waves. He waves at us. And so I just am like, well, what do I accept back? I realized, what do I accept back from people just is something pleasant. They don't usually say critical things. Would I be friends with any of these people just on my own and socialize with them? Probably not. But I'm surrounding myself with people who are friendly
somehow or
towards
another
me.
You froze.
What's that?
Your video froze here. I didn't hear the last paragraph. Can you it may not have frozen for the audience, but for me, I didn't hear the last paragraph.
Sure. It didn't freeze for the audience. It's funny. So how we record this podcast is we both are in our own studios, and simultaneously, as our recordings go on, the recordings get uploaded to the main studio, which then mixes things together. So when this is being produced, I'll cut that part out. But what I was saying is everyone on my street likes us.
Answer something.
Yeah.
Okay.
What got created was
Yay.
a place that I have to live in every day, and I don't walk down the street saying, well, that's a mean man and that guy's actually a jerk, and over here this one is a total weirdo. Because now what they give back to us is just friendliness. But would I be friends with them in life and go out and go out to dinner and stuff? Probably not. But where I live, it's lovely to just wave to literally everyone that lives on our street. And that part was the part that was the point.
I
Now I'm
love
done.
that. You are the most relentlessly positive people I know. I heard a phrase, I think it was uh, un, re, re, unreserved optimism. But that wasn't, it
There
was
you go.
like optimism that had no logic behind it, illogical optimism. And I love that about you. You just don't, I never saw anybody grant that much positivity to others. You grant it to me, you grant it, I see it, you grant it to your pets, to your inanimate objects. It's just beautiful what you've been able to accomplish. It's very sweet. I would like at this point to tell you what I think is the way to increase your friendship wealth. Because there are certain things that a person can do, and I have some friends who currently wish that they had more friends, and it's not hard. The
Okay.
first thing you do is you put yourself where there are people, because some people are very isolated, and there is a solution for being isolated, and that is to go someplace where you're not isolated. If all it meant was you walked to a mall and you talked to a shop person, doesn't mean you're committing to a friendship, but you're at least around human beings, and that starts the process. But I think that the quickest way to make a friend is to help somebody. Find
Mm-hmm.
somebody who needs you, that isn't expecting anything, and you're not expecting any. You're not expecting any exchange, or well, I have whatever I give, they have to give back. Nothing like that. Just find somebody to help, and they may not become a friend, but they might. So if you go, and so then what that could expand into, a person, if they didn't have friends, a person could find something that they cared about and volunteer. If you love animals, you could possibly volunteer at a shelter. I watch one. I'm kind of addicted to one YouTube fellow that goes around to shelters and sits with dogs. He sits with them because he knows a lot about their nature, and he helps rehabilitate terrified dogs that are scared to death in their pens. They've just arrived, or maybe they've been there a while, but he goes and does that. Well,
I love that.
did that, I'll guarantee you would make some friends if you volunteered for something that you like doing. There's other people volunteering as well, and there are people that you're helping. You're going to have some friends. So I really believe in volunteerism, and I think that that's the quickest way to make friends. Now, I'm sure there's other ways. You could go to church. You could just go to church and say hello to somebody, and
Yep.
develop a new, like I'm always on the lookout for new friends. I actually made a friend on the internet, believe it or not. And I also made it. Here's another thing you could do to make a friend: sell something on Marketplace. I sold some stuff. I actually gave away on Marketplace. I had a giveaway, and I made 3 actual in real life friends because we sat and chatted. We had common interests, and we chatted for a while, and all of a sudden I've got new friends. It's just weird. It's like wild. It's not like joining a dating site or joining a Let's Make Friends. Oh, that would be a good site. Not a dating site. Let's Make Friends. Oh, I have to make a new app. What do we call it? The Let's Make Friends app.
You're going to
They
make a new
pair
app? Okay.
they pair you with somebody just like they would pair you up with a sweetie pie. Well, let's pair you up with somebody that's a friend. Could be a boy or a girl. What do you think?
I think those exist, but
Really?
I'm not sure. Uh-huh. Write it down. I think it's like just between friends, but check and see. There's always room for more friends.
No. make new friends. Although it probably does exist. Make new friends, free app. Okay, good. Meetup, well, that's it. Befriend, make new friends, chat to new people, and meet. Well, Yubo, make new friends. Hoop, make new friends. Peeps, make new friends. Well, okay, so go get yourself an app. Make new friends.
An app. Isn't that funny? You go
No,
like, okay, everything's on an app anymore.
I think volunteering is better than getting an app.
I do too.
Because
Actually,
because in
my
the meantime,
longest friends have been either through activities where we're there on a common purpose or a common goal.
yeah, yes, common purpose, common goal. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, join a club. Join a club join a bridge club. I mean, if you like bridge, I don't think that's a high purpose. Playing cards is not necessarily a high purpose, but it would get you out of the house.
Sure, and you get to know people
Yeah,
hanging out with them. That's actually the point is you are enriched by getting to know someone on a level that's deeper than just hi, hello, how are you?
that's right.
What are
A
you having
book
for
club. How
lunch?
about a book club? Do you belong to
Yeah.
any book club?
Do I know what?
Do you belong to any book clubs?
Someone online signed me up or I became part of a book club group, but
Me too.
we aren't doing the everybody read this book, book a week like a traditional book club. It's more who's read something good, share it with us, tell us what you think about it.
I
But
think I'm in
anything
the
like
same.
that. Meetup's very famous for creating common interest groups.
Yeah, that's right. If you couldn't find a meetup group that satisfied your needs, you could make your own meetup group.
Yeah, totally. In fact, we have a friend who embarked on a keto lifestyle and a determination to walk 8,000 steps a day, which for me is just a regular day. But he takes an opportunity and created a group of friends that walk 8,000 steps a day minimum to places around our area that are fun and unique. So it might be some part of the city. Doesn't that sound like fun? And then he
Yeah,
just snaps a selfie like, okay, I'm here over at, such and such a place doing this and that for my 8,000 steps today. It's lovely.
I love that. Well, you have to come dance walking with me on my balcony.
Okay, let's do that for our next episode. You've done
Oh,
your own solos, but let's get a group of women to all dance walk.
the idea very much. And I actually would like somebody to teach me. There's a couple of different dances on TikTok that I want to learn. I want to learn the cha-cha slide and the Cupid cha-cha and different ones.
Okay, well, let's actually do a shout out for any of our friends who know those dance steps we'll get a group together and either go to the park. I don't know, is your balcony good for a group of women to learn to dance? That might make you really popular with your neighbors. Thank
Well, we can
heavens
do
you
it on
only have a few.
No, we can do it on the upstairs balcony because you see the east, south, and west of all of Clearwater and the bay and the Gulf and everything. We could do it up there
That's
because a lot of space up
fantastic.
there.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. It's time to create an event on your upstairs balcony.
Yeah.
I
And
love
you'll
it.
make a new friend because there'll
And
be
we'll make a new
somebody,
friend.
you'll have a new friend and you'll get richer.
That's good. Now we definitely have to have a videographer and a photographer because we need to make a bunch of little shorts here of us laughing and having fun and then all dancing in unison.
That's what
Uh,
tripods are for. Tripods and remote control.
okay, good. Then you've got it covered. We're good. All right. So, what have we learned here today, Karen?
Well, we've learned that you're not rich unless you're if you're a human being, you're not rich unless you have other human beings in your life.
That's
And
right.
we learned some wonderful ways that Linda endows people with happy thoughts and makes them nicer people. She's good. I just let them fade away. but she makes them nicer people. I think that's pretty good skill, Linda. And we learn some ways to add friends.
I love it. So we measure wealth by the quality of our friends and the depth of our relationships, as well as our material possessions. But material possessions without friends is a sad and lonely existence. So from us to all of you, we wish you much wealth in every way that exists. And if you're around us, we are going to have, what is it, cha-cha slide? A cha-cha slide.
Right, to the right. One stomp, left stomp, right stomp. Take it back. Now cha-cha go.
On an amazing balcony overlooking some beautiful waterways in our hometown. All right. We're good. All right. Bye, everyone. Have a wonderful week, and we'll see you next week.